One of the best parts of life is when you can admit the truth to yourself about yourself. Cyberspace is a world where one can become something he isn't, but everything he dares to be. I wasn't interested in getting attached to anyone, and I knew I wouldn't take anyone I met online seriously. I had multiple screen names to increase my chances of meeting someone attractive. The majority of the profiles noted HIV negative under status, but I knew better from the work I had done in the HIV community. I knew 1 out of 3 black gay men was positive. The messages I found in my inbox validated me in my depression. In some strange way, they reinforced that I was worthy and deserving. My days consisted of waking up and logging on to see how many messages had accrued overnight. Months passed before I got honest with my therapist about what was happening with me. And before I knew it, I heard myself say, I've been having sex with people I meet online. To listen to more of Words Never Spoken in Memoir, visit audible.com. I was involved briefly with a married man who believed he had the courage to leave his wife to be with me and to live his truth. This isn't the typical story of a married man promising to leave his wife for a secret lover. Rather, this is a story in part about a gay man who knew he was gay before he got married, but chose to marry a woman because he didn't know how to break free. Rocky and I met on a gay social media site 3 months after I returned to the East Coast to live, and just 11 months after he was married. At the time we met, he was living and working in Dubai as a contractor for the government on a military base, while his wife was stationed in Tallahassee, Florida, where they had a home. In one of the first messages he sent me, Rocky shared that he was married, but that he had regrets. He explained that he had come out to his mother and siblings when he was 18 years old. He sat them. To listen to more of One Thing for Certain, Two Things for Sure, a memoir continued, visit audible.com. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and this is So Much to Say YouTube TV. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. So Much to Say YouTube TV is the place that you come to learn and grow, because we discuss socially relevant things mixed with a splash of humor. If you know you have tissue paper feelings, this probably isn't the channel for you. However, since you're here, I just need for you to do 2 things. Hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and turn on that little bell so that you get the notification every single time that I go live or upload something new. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Hey girl, hey boy, hey. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and this is the Facebook and YouTube live versions of So Much to Say. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. It's a little dim in here. I was trying to get my light set up. Carlton and fucked up my shit. But at any rate, where's the other pole to the light?
It's probably in the room.
I just looked. I didn't see it.
Well, you know how you look at it. The one that's sitting right here.
Wait, which one? No, the bottom part of this to go in that.
It's upside down. That is it.
Oh, is it upside down? Oh, what would I do without you? Can you?
Jesus Christ. You sit here and tell the people I done fucked up your shit. You don't even know how to work your shit.
Started to flip it over, but I was like, nah, that don't look right.
Y'all see what I have
You gotta plug it in. I didn't plug it in.
Jeez.
Thank you very much.
You lie to the thousands of people.
Can you slide it over that way, son, please?
Yes, he's on the line.
Who's that?
Huh?
Who's that?
Brian.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
All right. So anyway, listen, I have a special guest tonight. She ain't really that special, but hey, Toya. Listen, let me say this before I forget. I do have a book to gift. I have a book to gift, and I want to say that before I forget. But I have a special guest tonight, and she and I actually went to college together. Well, she was in grad school while I was in undergrad, and we became friends. Look, she's looking at me sideways down there in the comments. But she was a grad student, and I was an undergrad, and I used to go into her office all the time because I started over there because I had a work study in that office. And you know, everybody just kind of gravitated to her office because she was, you know, she was young. She was a grad student. She was older than us, but she was a young faculty member. And so we used to hang out in her office and everybody just would be in there. But her job at the school at Hampton University, the real HU, was to teach the students how to put together their resumes so that they could get a job after they graduated, but also teaching them interviewing skills. And so we would have recruiters from all of these big companies that will come. You know how they come to the college campuses. And so she would give them interviewing tips and she would look at their resume and that kind of thing. So this is my friend Kim. Those of you that follow my Patreon, you have seen Kim before. Those of you that don't, shame on you. Oh, look at these guns. Ooh. But at any rate, so she is here because we decided, I told you guys that I was going to have a conversation with her about certain industries. You know what we were talking about, certain industries. There isn't much Black presence in certain industries. So she works in cosmetics, the beauty industry. We're not going to discuss her company because we might get real in depth tonight and talk about WPS, white people shit, as Nan says. Thank you, Crystal Cephas, for the super chat. But I wanted to have this conversation because remember I told you she was asking me if I knew anybody in the makeup industry. And I said, yeah, I know a bunch of gays that do makeup. She said, no, not on the front end. We need people in the chemistry side, in the laboratory side, so that when Black women go to look for colors, there are different colors that match your skin color, all of the different skin colors. Not just Black women, but women of color, I should say. So we were just saying how a lot of times we aren't present in those spaces because we don't even know how to get into those industries. And remember, I had kind of compared it to what Carlton does in the film industry. He went to college for architecture, where most people go to school for architecture. You think that you're going to learn how to design and build buildings, but he ended up in the film industry. So some of your favorite TV shows he's worked on, and favorite movies he's worked on, designing the sets. But a lot of times we don't know how to get into those industries. And so that's what we wanted to talk about tonight. So with all of that being said, my girl Kim is here. Hey girl, hey.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey Neil. Hey Neil. So listen, we gotta remember that we are on live because we get real comfortable.
You need decorum.
Yes, we gotta keep up
here. Yes,
absolutely. So so again, I just want to kind of start, and then I'm gonna let you really just kind of lead the conversation. But I really wanted to kind of go back to kind of give them an idea of how we even came to this conversation, because you had called me about. Let me say this. So Kim works in HR. So a lot of times she finds the talent, and then she places them in positions. And she and I talk all the time about different things. And you guys know I'm Black as hell. And I'm always talking about Black people moving forward. And so one of the things that I definitely wanted to share, one of the stories that you told me, was there was a Black girl who was coming in for a position. And you said to her, well, you know, what is it that you want to make? Like, what's your dream salary? And didn't she say something like 120,000 or something?
It was something like 140. So I typically will ask, what are your compensation expectations?
Right.
And so she lowballed. You talking about the one where she lowballed herself?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Are you having trouble hearing me? Why are you delayed?
It's a delay on your end or
you
something.
Delayed in your response. Oh, it is?
It's a delay.
Sorry. So you want me to tell the story, or you gonna tell it?
Yeah, you go ahead and tell it.
Oh, okay. So so this was like a senior director role, and this was a female woman of color that had, I don't know, 20 plus, heading towards 30 years of experience. And so when I asked her, as I do everyone, what her compensation expectations were, she came in with some ridiculously low number. And so I shared with her, I kind of had to take off my HR hat and just be a real female to female
Black to
sort of a
black.
conversation, and just say, yes. And just let her know that, you really have to step into your worth, your value. So that having worked this long in the industry, in your craft, that you are worth much more than that. And you have to be comfortable. And I know it's challenging for us sometimes because we don't want to, knock ourselves out of the running for a position. And so we kind of, we'll take it down a notch so we can at least have a chance to get the role. But if you don't ask for what you want, if you don't ask for what you want up front, you will never get back to it because it's getting those increases to get you to where you need to be. So I told her in that case what she needed to be asking for, and she ended up getting that. So,
and the reason that was so profound to me, like when you shared that story with me, and for all of you that are watching and listening, that's not something that a person in Kim's position really would do. You know what I'm saying? And this is why it's important for representation as well. This is why it's important for people of color to be seated at the table. And this is why when there are people of color seated at the table, it's important to not shrink in your ethnicity, whatever that is, because you could have very well just saw that she was lowballing herself, and you may not have said anything, which you really
yeah, I could have saved some money. I could have said, look, hiring manager, I saved $1,000. Use that on another position.
Yeah. You could have you could have saved the money company. And then, like you said a moment ago, if she was asking for 140 and the position ended up paying 180, she would have never gotten to 180. I don't care how many raises she got, it would have taken forever for her to get to that point. But then even there was another situation you told me about. It was another situation you told me about, and this is the one I was reminding you of the other day, and I can't remember her, not that I would say her name anyway, but you said she was she's a hustler and she works like a couple different things. You showed me her Instagram, and you were saying that she wasn't going to get the position, but you really kind of vouched for her. You don't remember her?
Kenya? It must be Kenya. What she does hair?
Yeah, she does hair on the side.
Okay. Yeah, so Kenya worked for me at my previous company before the one I'm at now. And
you can say the previous one if you want.
The previous one, Kate Spade. I was head of talent acquisition, and so she reported to me. We went our separate ways at Makeup Forever. Hopefully I can say that. She got laid off from there. And so Kenya always had a passion for cosmetology. And once she got laid off, she went back to cosmetology school full time. Well, fast to where I am now, I needed someone with her skill set on my team. So I reached her and she was like, oh, I'm in school full time. I don't know. I can't work. And so I don't know if I'll be able to work. And so I told her that, listen, my manager, he is entrusting me to hire this person. You don't have to interview or anything like that. And we will just let you work around your class schedule, which, you're never going to get that opportunity, a corporate job. So she would go to school during the day, log on at night, and work almost until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning because she wanted to keep up, not because we asked her to. But just giving her that flexibility. And then when she finished school, she kind of transitioned into a regular work schedule. And I say all that to say that it is important hopefully that you folks can find organizations and managers that allow you or colleagues some of that flexibility, because there is talent out there that's not necessarily going to fit in a traditional box, but finding ways to make it work, I think is important, particularly today.
Now, can you share one
that
other story? Can you share one other story, and then we're gonna jump into the meat of what we're gonna.
So I tell you, I think I tell you too much.
Okay, look, there's one other story that I want you to share with them. It was the story that you just told me last week, and you said, well, your homegirl, the one that we talk about all the time, and there was a white woman. They were going to go with some campaign of some woman with a look like she was in a slave field or whatever, and then the black.
Yeah.
Okay, tell that story.
Yeah. So, yes, family, and we see this a lot in recent years, where companies make these faux pas as it relates to people of color, like the gorilla turtleneck, and I forgot what Chanel did with their handbag. I think they had apes or something like that. So in this instance, they had, and this is just the ad campaign, a black female in what you would call a prairie dress, barefoot in like a field. She has short hair, and it said something in the copy, said something about colonialism. And so there's colonialism, something about colonialism. I don't know how they were tying that to fashion, but at any rate, there was a VP that went to the CEO to, complain about that. Hey, this is, as a black female, this may be a little off-putting to our consumer. I think we should look at changing that up. And the CEO goes, no, absolutely not. And of course,
this CEO is a white woman.
Yeah, the CEO is a white woman, exactly. So she goes, absolutely not. Well, when the VP, the black woman, escalated it to HR, like, hey, I got this reaction when I point this out. What are your thoughts? Luckily, that HR person was a black gentleman. He took it, escalated it further, and it eventually got squashed. And the CEO's response to those that convinced her to, oh, absolutely, I see what you're saying now, absolutely. But see, she didn't, and sometimes our voices are not heard or taken seriously in situations like that, and trying to convey not just how that person felt, but how others in the community would feel seeing something like that. For some reason, it has to be most people telling the same thing, or you got to get an ally to come help you convince. So yeah, that's another reason why we need more people of color at the table where these decisions are being made.
So with that being said, the germ of this conversation came from Kim called me one day, or I called her. We were talking, and she was saying how she was like, well, do you know anybody that works in makeup? And I said, yeah, I'm gay. Like, I know a bunch of people that do makeup. And she was like, no. I don't mean like they do makeup. She said, I mean people who know how to create it, like in the laboratory section of it, or the chemistry part of it. And so that kind of opened up a conversation between the two of us, because it's one of those things where we're on the front end. Yes, black women and you have a lot of black gay men who apply makeup and do makeup and may even have their own makeup line, but they're not actually formulating the actual product itself. And it kind of reminded me of, like I was saying with Carlton, like with his industry, he went to school for architecture. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who would love to do the same kind of work that he does, but have no idea of how to even, what the inroad is. And so that's why we wanted to have this conversation, because as I was talking to my mom about it earlier, and I was like, yeah, Kim, and she said, you're going to do a live tonight? And I said, yeah, Kim and I are going to do a live tonight. She said, what y'all talking about? So I was just telling her that a lot of times I think we, as people of color, I think sometimes we see an industry or we see a position and we only see that position. We don't think about all of the things behind that position. Case in point, interior design. You may be really great at interior design, but that's a luxury business. And so when the economy is affected, that's the first thing people throw out. Ain't nobody hiring an interior designer when the economy is shifting. But if you have that same kind of talent, you can still work in television or film because they're still creating television shows. They're still filming movies. You know what I'm saying? So that you got to learn how to pivot and not go for the obvious. Same thing if you're a singer. A lot of singers think that they have to be a major recording artist, but that may not be what you were called to do. Maybe your goal, or maybe you need to redirect and try to create music scores for television or film or, you know, whatever it is. Like, it's not always about the obvious.
Yeah. I think another point to that, though, is we don't know. We've not been given the advantages of knowing that with Carlton. I didn't know that career existed for architecture majors. I think he knew, right? Didn't he find out in some random way? And so how exactly? So they don't tell us about these non-traditional roles in school. They tell us that there's, you know, chemists. You think, oh gosh, I ain't majoring in chemistry. That's boring. I ain't gonna be, you know, cooking up whatever, when you could actually be working on products that mean something to skincare, nail care, you know, makeup, all of that stuff has to be formulated by somebody. Those ingredients have to be put together by somebody. So we don't even know there's a whole world of other opportunities like those. And so I guess my question would be to you, the audience, what are some of the ways that we could, you know, start to advocate that in our communities, that, you know, it's not just about, you know, if you're good at math or analytical types of sciences, there are like cool things that you could do with that. And
the same thing, like one of the basic examples is just like with the sports industry. A lot of times Black kids think that if you have this athletic prowess, that your goal is to be the athlete, but that may not be it. There's sports medicine. You know what I mean? There's so many other arenas. There's a sports agent. You could be a sports agent. Just because you're excited about sports doesn't mean you have to be the actual athlete. There's so many other careers in that industry. I just dropped the link down in the comments. I was saying I just dropped the link down in the comments, so if you want to join the conversation, you can. Go ahead, Kim. What were you
I was gonna say, I don't know if you follow LeBron James, but you know, he brought along all of his friends, right, and gave them different opportunities. He just reached the $1 billion mark, and his agent is his friend, never done that before, ever, and you know, kind of entrusted him to do that for him. Why did I mention that? Because, you know, nobody else would given him that chance. So and he obviously prepared himself, research and whatever else. So what do they say when opportunity meets preparation, I guess?
But you know, but
being able to create. Yes.
I was going to say, and I do think that that's how it happens, right? But I also think that there's a cautionary tale, and that cautionary tale is MC Hammer. Because see, he tried to do the same thing.
Well, you can't do that with everybody. I think LeBron obviously had a good read on, LeBron had a good read on his crew.
Exactly. So you got to be careful with that.
Not so much.
Correct. Like, because MC Hammer, he was pulling Negroes up out of Oakland, and he was just giving them these salaries, and they weren't even really doing anything.
Well, should have left them right there in Oakland.
Right. Now, somebody just said we need people with unconventional careers to be more visible. They need to come speak in the community. That's one of the things that Carlton has done. Like, oh, thank you. That's one of the things that Carlton has done. Like, he's spoken at Hampton. Like, they have like something. What was it that you did at Hampton? That's what? It was during homecoming. One time during homecoming, they had architect majors come back, and he spoke about what he does and how to get into it. Because again, to your point, a lot of times we don't really know how to even go about getting to it. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing I was thinking about this today too. Like when we run into a person that works in the field that we want to be in, like let's say you want to be in, I don't know, art directing, like, you know, designing the sets for television and film. You run into a Spike Lee or somebody, you don't even know how to ask him, this is what I want to do. But this is why it's important for people who do work in that industry to kind of lay those inroads out. Because I would be willing to bet that a person who's really good at like computer science and graphing and that kind of thing, they probably could do the same kind of work that Carlton does too. He said they have graphic designers. You know, but I think a lot of times when people think about graphic design, all they think about is building websites, creating logos. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So many, there's so much out there now, especially as, you know, the workforce is evolving and technology, artificial intelligence, just all these new roles and careers have been created. And I think we don't have we don't get an opportunity. Those things are not presented to us early on, whether it's high school, college, whatever it is. So we miss out sometimes. And then, you know, their parents are already working in those fields. Ours aren't working in those fields. So they get a head or leg up because their parents are already there. So anybody with school, going to school, be inquisitive, be curious, go to your career center. Just inquire, don't settle.
And then just to give another example, because I really want you guys. No, it was just a comment. And just to give you guys another example, it's just like those of you who may be barbers or you may be hairstylists. The goal may not be to work in somebody's salon standing behind a chair or to own your own salon or barbershop. Derek J works in television and film. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I want you guys to start thinking bigger than the obvious. Just because you do hair doesn't mean that you're supposed to be doing mom and pop. And not to say that you can't make great money, you know, working with the public. But I mean, you could be working, you could be what is his, I think his title is like artistic director or some shit, like Derek J, like when he's in North Carolina now working on a film. You would never make that kind of money, you know what I'm saying, standing in a salon like you would be on production.
Yeah, exactly. And every set needs a makeup person. So
yeah. I was going to ask you, do you feel comfortable sharing with them the story that you shared with me about the guy the other day that you read the letter to and how he took you under his wing?
Yes.
What?
You're going to let a white person? You're going to let in a white person in your conversation?
Who asked that?
You.
Oh, you're talking about, am I going to let, because he's white?
Yes.
But I think it was a good story, and I think it's a good story because.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah, I'll tell it. Yeah,
okay,
I'm cool with it. I thought
go
that.
ahead.
Okay.
But wait,
right.
when you tell
so,
because you know there's a delay. Okay, so wait, I want you to start the story with how you first went there and you were working there, and nobody at the company really looked at you or talked to you, and you kind of were over in the corner. Start from there.
Right. Okay. So I started at this company as a contract recruiter, and initially, you know, I was working on recruiting for corporate positions, but needed someone to go and help out with more of what we consider front end. So design, merchandising, buying, planning, all of those roles that really, shape what's going onto the shelf. So when I went over to kind of help with those roles, different vibe than the corporate people, the IT, the accountants, the finance. When you get into that design world and merchandising, it's very, very different. Size 0, blonde hair, blue eyes, snobby kind of attitude in the fashion industry. I'm sure you'll know what I'm talking about. So when I were to start, they didn't even give me a place to sit. Every day I had to find somewhere else to sit. They were in a closet at one point to make phone calls. And I remember, Roxanne, if she's listening, she knows the story. Like I would, ready to quit every day, just, wanting to cry because you were not included. It was not an inclusive environment. So at any rate, they started to give me more and more work. And I said, at least while I'm here, I will do a good job. And I started to get the attention of the executives in terms of the work that I was doing. So one in particular, he was president and COO at the time. And so, he started to kind of take me under his wing, and I was doing, had more access, like sitting in executive meetings, preparing for board meetings, hiring executives, and he would value my decision or my recommendation on who to hire, who not to hire. And he never made me feel he was, putting baby in the corner, so to speak, because of the color of my skin or anything like that. So,
or even having locks.
Long story short, yes, I had locks. Not two by any stretch, and he with other people starting to see that, they're like, "Oh, you're Kim. Oh, you can sit here. Yes, we have a desk for you over here now." And then other executives, I started to build relationships with them as well, and that was truly a turning point in my career. And so I think we all need those people, those allies that help us along the journey, because all it takes is one person to kind of open the door, crack it, bust it wide open. So he's a mentor and a friend to me to this day. Gives me all kinds of advice. I got advice for the king from him. Well, Craig's. For Craig. For him. So yeah, he's someone who always value and appreciate.
But what happened was when that company was acquired, he was bought out.
Mm-hmm.
And he was leaving the position.
Well, the company was bought out. Obviously. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, that part. So yeah, when he, we were acquired by another company. Obviously, all of the executives get paid, bukus of money. So he left, sitting on a gold mine, so to speak. And so at his going away party, they asked me a few words, which was hard because, I was tearing up. There were other people there tearing up. I had actually written him a handwritten note on stationery, and I gave it to him. And I remember writing it, emotional and crying. And then Dylan says she sent you a comment. You ain't say nothing.
Dylan, I posted it.
Oh, I ain't see it. So and I guess that emotion came out because when he read it, he was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much." That really meant a lot to me. With all the new diversity advertisement, still not inclusive. Dylan, you are absolutely right. That is another area where, you know, they want our dollars, but they're not willing to spend advertising dollars where we see, like on our television shows that we watch, you know, advertising is still very much mainstream, and the models that they use are still mainstream. So there's a lot of work to be done. It's not just enough to offer. Okay, now you feel like you because you got deeper shades, but then you also have to let people know you have those deeper shades. You can't just, because what they will do is when they do that, they'll say, well, we are deeper shades, nobody bought them, so let's cut back on the deeper shades. But you didn't give us a chance to buy because we didn't know you had them. You weren't advertising to us. So like yes, Pat that is a very good point. A lot of work.
Yeah, like Pat just said,
this is good information.
No, Pat, I haven't put her comment because I want to remember to come back to you. But Pat down in the comments said the advertisements are performative. So like, to your point, if people aren't going out and buying it, they pull it. But then like you said, they don't always advertise and put it out there.
No.
But I want you to tell them the story about the influencers that they sent the product to, and they sent it to a black woman that's over in the UK or something, and she's really dark skinned.
Yes. So yeah. There's another example of we need more people of color working at these companies. Diversity and being black is the in thing now. Black is right for now. And we, you know, beauty oftentimes will send these, you know, sample boxes or product to influencers that have, you know, millions of followers. So this particular woman was based in London, but she's, you know, of African dark skin, and whomever put her bother didn't take into consideration and sent her this box with, I mean, it would have made her look like Casper the Friendly Ghost. So she posted on her Instagram, like she trashed the brand for doing that, and you know, pointed out that this is what I'm talking about. You guys don't appreciate, you know, it enough to put the right shades in the box. If you even have it, they probably didn't even have it, so they just put had in there because it was like a new product, like a new tinted moisturizer. And you know, we can't, and it says that it's for all shades, but it's not for us. It doesn't look good on our skin. So yeah, they had to do a publicity press thing to offset a lot of that negativity her Instagram received. So yeah.
Okay, so Henry says in the comments, he said, go ahead.
Oh my, Henry.
Read it out. Read it out loud.
Question without being judged. I'm reading it without being judged. Do you think your lighter skin gives you an advantage or privilege? I have never thought that my skin was that light. Like, come on now, you can tell I'm clearly black. No, I've never ever.
But you know, it's
Has
interesting.
It been an advantage for some?
It's interesting because a lot of times,
lighter complected people. It could be for lighter complected people. Maybe it's the lighting in here. I'm truly not that. I'm not that light.
But see, here's the thing that's interesting. I think from the perspective of black people, like darker skinned black people, I think a lot of times think that fair skin or light skinned black people get privilege that they may not always get. You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of goes back to that whole slavery thing of feeling like, oh, you think you're better because you're light skinned. But a lot of times there's this false perception that fair skinned black people receive some sort of privilege. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, because I'm sure it does. But I think that oftentimes, I think more times than not, they get blamed for stuff that they don't even benefit from.
Yeah. That might exist more so in the entertainment industry if you're talking about models, you know, that kind of
Video.
thing, looking for ambassadors for brands. That could be. Yes, but in a corporate setting, I don't think so. Definitely agree. All my makeup tends to be orange, and it's hard finding the correct shade. Yes, ma'am. Oh, let's talk about Dylan and how we changed her perspective on a career. Right? She's using social media. What was your line? Don't let social
media. Exactly. Don't let social media use social media.
Yeah. So she was, posing, styling, profiling on social media.
How my man brought me dinner.
Oh, that looks good, Carlton.
It's roasted vegetables, red peppers and orange peppers and squash, and then it's a shrimp burger.
Oh.
With red onions and green apples.
So we found a whole new career. Oh, where did you get that from?
He just made it.
He did not make that up. He did not make that up with the apples here.
You were such a hater.
That was some recipe.
Crunch my burger.
We don't have any spinach or greens, so he put the apple in it because he wanted a little crunch in the burger.
Whatever.
Don't come for me, Kim. Hi.
Hey, Carlton. So we discovered a whole new career option for Dylan with opening her mind around social media. There's digital marketing. I have a few positions for that now where companies are really trying to. The power of social media is unreal, and trying to find talent that knows how to target audiences and what content should go out when, and for sure. That is definitely another avenue, particularly for young people that are fascinated with social media. They might as well use it to make some money. What's this? They never have the correct shade. Oh, why you ain't let me read it?
Oh. Go ahead.
They never have the correct shade, even if it's for a complexion. It usually looks gray or even ashy. Exactly, and that's why we need more Black chemists, more people doing product development and innovation that understand, our skin tones, our, hyperpigmentation issues, and all of that stuff. Is so important because they don't know what they're doing. They don't know. Thank you, Kim and Craig, for enlightening our people. I enjoy this type of live. Amazing information for someone like myself who feels stuck at a government job and wants more out of life. Amen, sis. What does Renee do? Renee, tell us what your role is within the government.
I'm dropping the link down here as well. So if you want to join the live, you can come on and have a conversation if it's easier than typing. Here's it. Kim, did you start your page for your say?
Embarrassing.
Kim.
I said embarrassing. What does that mean?
That means no, you haven't. Look, Carlton in the background saying, Kim don't need that money.
I do. That would have been a nice second stream. Maybe I can't transfer my brother's account to somebody else, can I?
Transfer it to who?
I don't know.
To Dylan?
He's the one. I'll give it to Dylan or Roxanne. Dylan, that would be good for Dylan.
She said she's an administrative aide.
Administrative aide. I'm very great at business and managing people, though. Nothing wrong with administrative aid. Everybody needs an assistant to keep things organized and on track. It's just a matter of where you want to take that set. There are, other avenues that you could explore for sure.
What's Tanny
I'm one
Joy
of those
say?
people that have gotten. I'm one of the people that have gotten so deep into the mortgage industry that now I want to leave, but don't know how to transfer my skills for another industry. Any tips? What do you do today? Like, what's your role in the mortgage industry? Kim, can I get your email? I did it last year and I need a job. I live in New York City. Oh, okay, then.
Yes. If you give your email, if you give your email on here, they're gonna know what company you work for.
I'm gonna give I was giving the personal.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Kimberly D, Kimberly D 511 at gmail.com.
Mm-hmm. Tanny Joy said,
"I'm a government workers over research and correspondence team." Oh, you know what, Tammy, we would probably have to have a side conversation, but it's really going to be looking at your skills, like what is relatable, transferable to another industry. And sometimes you have to, take a step back a little bit if you're willing in terms of compensation, get you on the next track to get you going forward. So I'll give can you just type my email address in there?
What is it? Kimberly D. I'm trying to eat.
511.
511.
How you gonna eat on the live? You trying to tell me to have decorum and you eat?
I didn't know he was gonna bring it over here to me.
What are you talking about?
What's the email?
Thaddeus.
The Thaddeus.
Is that Thaddeus? Thaddeus. I ask about you all the time. Oh my goodness. Hey, how you doing?
Okay, what's the email? Is that it?
Dylan, you Thaddeus? Oh, huh? There it is. Yeah. Kimberly D 501 at you. Yes, you. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, whoever that was in the mortgage industry, if you want to email me, I don't have a problem kind of talking you through what your options might be. You are exactly a writer type.
Listen, he always eat on the live.
He always eat on the
Look, she's like, he should have taken a lunch break before 9.
Okay. Thank you, Alicia. He trying to tell me I need to be professional.
It was something that I was going to have you. It was another story I think I was going to have you share. Oh, no, I think it was with the social media thing. Thaddeus said, I love the frames. I'm happy to see you.
Thank you, Thaddeus.
Okay, so Righteous Dance. Can you read that one?
I need a Black female computer science mentor for my daughter. She just graduated. Can I email in the chat for anyone who can help? Sure. So she just graduated from college, I presume. Any thoughts on what she wants to do with that degree?
Mm-hmm.
Lots of stuff going on in the digital, lots of cool stuff to be doing. My friend wants me to find modeling acting jobs that I want to turn into a business. He's very marketable. He is very attractive and very fit. Not sure where to start. That one's on you, King. I don't know.
I mean, for something like that, I would just say start creating your own portfolio. Use your social media. Like use your social media to create an actual portfolio. Make your Instagram a portfolio and actually have a physical portfolio. start tagging certain
Mhm.
brands that he's interested in working with, hashtagging certain brands. You know what I mean? Because you can create that kind of buzz around your social media. You really can.
Mhm.
Here's
And figure out what some of the modeling agents look for and what they want to see. And there's smaller agencies. You don't have to go like start out with Ford Modeling Agency. You can start out with some of the smaller ones. How can people without college degrees sell their work experience to their advantage? So yeah, some jobs you can't get around needing a specific degree, but others they will typically say degree or commensurate experience. So it really just depends on the roles that you're applying for, and you should, it's so important to be self-aware, right, and self-critical about what you can and cannot do, and really just focus. You need a good, strong resume that speaks to that, so that when you apply for roles, you will at least get an opportunity to speak to someone. That's definitely. You shouldn't look at that as a hindrance, because there are a lot of opportunities out there where you don't need a degree. I am a female.
That's a Righteous Dance. The one who was saying she has a daughter who just graduated.
I'm a Black. Oh, that's looking for a mentor. Right. Oh, she's a system administrator. Roxanne hires those roles.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Roxanne, I know you're out there. You want to be a mentor and help this young lady. Does she want to stay in sysadmin? She's trying to do something else within computer science. Like all of that, all of those questions.
Righteous Dance, this email is for you.
Listen.
Roxanne probably sitting right there with Dylan.
Okay. Dylan, make a comment if y'all are listening. Anyway, what? Any others?
And like my friend Thaddeus, who was in here just talking to Kim, he's an OBGYN. He delivers babies.
Yes. Okay. HBCU. He went to 2 HBCUs. Graduated top of his class. I remember Thaddeus' story because I tell it so often. Yes. Yep. I have a hard time getting a second interview. I don't know how people get level positions. Are you an entry level person?
Yes, we are doing
I missed the beginning. Are we doing career coaching? I'm going to run it back to catch. Yes, Alicia.
That is.
I know. I'm coming back.
Kim Swalby moving to Atlanta. Pat said, "Yeah, I graduated last year."
Oh, okay. So Pat, what was Pat's degree in? You remember? I can't remember. Did she say?
I can't remember.
Pat, what was your degree? And Pat, are you asking the interviewers for feedback? Like, it's not just enough for them to say, "Sorry, we decided on another candidate." They give you feedback on why they decided to pass. I'm the guy, an African American in HR for my company. State job, racism, discrimination, hard to prove when they all are in cahoots. Should I walk away? I'm saying, well, Durant, that exists everywhere. It's just, some environments are more inclusive and less tolerant of what you're saying than others. So it's all about the the culture, the environment of the organization. If it doesn't meet you, someone once told me they look at when they're interviewing for jobs, you also want to interview the company to see if their values meet your values, if culture is aligned with your, what you expect. So if you're feeling that's now out of whack, I don't know how long you've been there, then yes, I would say, what does it hurt to sit there and interview, and have conversations and network? That don't hurt nothing. That's free.
Pat.
Pat, I am a hiring manager. I can help. Oh, okay. So what did Pat say her degree was in?
I said she majored in marketing.
And she's based where?
Pat is in New York.
Oh, you're in New York too? Is that the one who told me she was in New York? Sorry.
That's the one who actually,
yeah. Yes, if Pat has my emails, yes, definitely reach out to me on email. What was that last one you skipped? I didn't get to read it. Go back to the other one.
That?
No, it was somebody that said, "Oh yeah, something." See,
right here.
You're not paying attention.
I am paying attention.
Oh yeah, I need a career. I'm ready to switch into consulting full time. Courtney Britt, are you in consulting? I can't remember who was in consulting.
Here's a good one, Jorge, Kim.
Okay, hi guys. I'm a part-time graphic designer for this company. I was told after 60 days they would decide if I would be full-time. I'm on day 62. Is it weird to ask about this, or should I just catch the hint? So, Jorge, this is what I was talking about earlier, like knowing your value and knowing. I'm sorry, you said Jorge.
I did say Jorge. I don't know if that's Jorge or George. It's Jorge or George.
Sorry if we're messing up. Sorry. This is what I was talking about earlier, right? Knowing your worth, knowing value. Don't be afraid to go ask for that. That was told to you. It's not what you say it. Hi, Miss HR person. Huh?
Go ahead. I'm
just HR person. This is George. Okay.
He said it's not George. So it's Jorge.
Well, embarrassing. It's Jorge. Lord.
Yes, we got you, Jorge.
And just go and speak to HR. Just wanted to see where things are, what the status is, if I'm going to be, convert to full-time soon, because, you need to know so you can move on, whether you want to move on or not. There's other graphic designer jobs out there. You don't have to sit there and be part-time.
That's right.
But while you are there, you keep looking. And when you find something, you bounce.
And it goes back to what you just said.
People depend too much.
I was going to say, and it also goes back to what you were just saying a moment ago about, I lost my train of thought when you started reading that. Go ahead. Oh, I know what it was. When you said you're also interviewing the company to make sure that their values are aligned with yours. It's the same thing. It's just like, your 60-second day, but you also want to go to them and say, hey, listen, is this relationship working? Of course, you don't say it like that. You want to be very professional. But, definitely.
But it's a fair question.
It's a fair question.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, people depend too much on applying on apps like Indeed or ZipRecruiter versus controlling their job search by connecting with companies directly. It's important to apply and follow up. Yes, I would agree. You should definitely apply, but then go that extra step further and find out. You can see for the most, see who posted the role on LinkedIn, or at least the company, and you can send them a message or what have you to kind of, I've hired a lot of people that took that initiative to reach out to me on LinkedIn. What'd she say?
I know what I was. Who?
What did the lady before Thaddeus say?
I love this. I'm glad I tuned in. I was gonna say, but Kim, I've shared this story with you guys before on the live. But Kim is my friend that I've told you guys about, who's worked in HR since I've known her, since, we were at Hampton and she went off to New York, but she's always worked in HR. But she was the one that I was always referring to when I said, they look at your social media and you got a bunch of foolishness on your social media, your resume is going in the trash. You posting fights, you cussing and talking all ignorant and sideways. Now, if you're gonna do that, you need to make sure your page is private. Whatever it is you need to do to hide your page. But this is the friend that I was talking about. I know I've shared that story on here before. I know some of you know that story because remember, we're not gonna say any names, but Kim, remember the story with my friend who posted those nude pictures when he was partially nude. And remember, he was in between jobs, and I reached out to him as a friend, and I was like, hey, you might want to take those pictures down, because Kim told me that she oftentimes will, when your resume come across that desk, before they even pick up the phone to call you, they looking for you on Instagram, they looking for you on Facebook, they looking for your social media. And if you got some more ignorant shit,
yes.
Go ahead.
I will say don't do that, because I think that I don't do that. But I know that hiring managers, our cousins, white people, will do that. And they're looking for reasons not to, for a reason to say, you know what, I don't want to interview her, or I don't want to consider her. They're looking for reasons. So don't give them a reason. Just take that stuff down, delete that whole account over something. I agree, Craig. Google Face Drop.
Google Face Drop. When you can put somebody's face in there.
What? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, you can put somebody's face in it, and all of the pictures with their face in it will come up. So you know how like people be out partying, they got drinks, and like that's why I don't even work in corporate America. When I did, I didn't really you never really saw me take a picture with a drink in my hand. I would always put the drink down, because you just don't know. People will try to say, oh, well, he drinks a lot, or he's always partying. You just got to be careful.
Yeah, you need to close your Twitter page if you got stuff on there. I search for people I'm interviewing for my team, but not for others.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to hide your identity.
I say I do. Yeah, the reason why I say I don't, have to be careful with that, because some things could be posted, but you taking it out of text, or you don't give a person a chance to. So I just try to stay away from it, but I just definitely know people do that. And the gag is white execs that get pissy drunk. Yep, that's exactly right.
Pattis is explaining.
So you
Google.
put a aliases, made up names, they can see all of that. What? I never even heard of that. Wow.
Yeah, use your privacy settings.
Use your privacy settings. Amen, Sean.
You guys have any other questions? I'm gonna let Kim go. I just dropped the link down here just in case you want to, ask or say something else. You can drop a comment, down here. They said, Kim, your glasses are sure enough lit.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's something that I did that years ago too, when I was still working a job. I changed my settings on Facebook so you couldn't even tag me. Because
no, that's too. Yep. Yeah, I did that too. On LinkedIn, I was saying exactly.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
But anyway, listen, I want to go ahead and close out. I do want to encourage you guys to sign up for Paid for Your Say. Kim signed up. She hasn't. Anyway, it's www.paidforyoursay.com. You have to put in the www. Not this Kim, but Kim that's over at Paid for Your Say just changed her website. So you do have to put in the www. And then the promo code is the same. It's Craig150. But listen, I just joined the Telegram, the little group chat yesterday. And when I say them people in there are so excited, they're over there making all this money. But listen, I want to encourage you guys, if you need an extra stream of income, this is completely legit, it's completely legal, and it is definitely a surefire way of making some extra money. So again, go to www, gotta put in the www, paidforyoursay.com. It's scrolling across the bottom, and the promo code is Craig150. Anyway, Kim, thank you for doing this. I think they learned a lot, and you know, you probably gonna get flooded with emails.
Thank you for having me. That's fine. I don't mind. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, listen, you guys.
Who was it? Thank you, Kim.
Oh, thank you for Kim for all the great information.
Oh, thank you, Antoinette. All righty, guys. See you next time. Thanks, Thaddeus. Bye, Thaddeus.
Right.
All right. See you guys.
All right. See y'all later. All right, but listen, you guys have an amazing night. Brush your teeth, floss your teeth, brush your tongue. You know, tomorrow I'll do some old silly shit so we can cut up. But anyway, I do want to try to introduce you guys to stuff that I think is going to be beneficial for you as well. You can't always be on here laughing and giggling and carrying on. So hopefully that will help somebody. You know, it will. Yeah. But anyway, brush your teeth, floss your teeth, brush your tongue, say your prayers tonight, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Oh, I need to gift that book. Where's my girl who said she wanted that book? I think she's probably gone though. I need to gift that book because my girl live from Dubai, I think that's her Instagram. I mean her name, her screen name on YouTube. She gifted a book the other day, and I need to gift that book. Marie said, "Yeah, we always like with the shits. Yeah, we always with the shit. So every now and then we got to do some smart stuff. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm really proud because there's so many people in here that are executives or they're in HR or whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is why I say good day thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers, because we have such a great hybrid of people in all kinds of industries. And this is why it's important too for those of you that are on Facebook to join the So Much to Say podcast pen pal group on Facebook. So if you go over to Facebook, just type in So Much to Say podcast pen pal, because we have this kind of conversation. They cut up and carry on in there too. But we also, like when people are looking for jobs, we'll post that kind of stuff. It's a whole community over there as well. Tawanda, do you have any of my books? Tawanda, do you have any of my books? I want to gift this book to someone who can purchase a book, and then I'll gift you a book. Amen? Tawanda, if you purchase a book, I'll gift you a book. So do that for me. Go over to CraigTheWriterStewart.com, purchase whatever book you want, and then in the comments, tell me which book you want for free, okay? So you'll get 2 for 1, Tawanda Henderson. So go over to CraigTheWriterStewart.com and purchase your book. And then in the comments, let me know which book you want for free, all right? And I'll ship those out to you tomorrow, all right? All right, so listen, you guys have an amazing night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to jump on that live on Instagram tomorrow, all right? Bye.